Hi there, my name is Jason Hale, and in this short video I will be discussing productivity. More specifically, I will be discussing what is meant by productivity in regards to the definition and its importance. Next, I will be discussing various ways in which productivity can be improved. And finally, I will touch on the social and ethical responsibilities that come with productivity growth. To start, let's define productivity by the three basic definitions introduced by author Dr. David Sumanth. Firstly, partial productivity, which is the ratio of output to one class of input, such as input per man-hour or output over the number of hours worked. Next, we have total factor productivity, which is the ratio of net output to sum of the associated factor output, such as labor and capital. Finally, total productivity, which is the ratio of total output to the sum of all input. This definition is the most basic definition of productivity and will be the focus in this video. And so, mathematically, we have input divided by output gives the total productivity. Now, this is a very important question. Well, how can productivity be improved? But first, I believe it is important to justify productivity growth by asking, why is productivity growth important to a logistics manager? Well, productivity growth plays a crucial factor in production performance. The more productive a worker is at building chairs, for example, the more chairs will be produced. Productivity growth has also been seen to help businesses become more profitable. Again, higher productivity leads to higher production performance, which leads to greater profits. This allows businesses to meet their obligations to workers, shareholders, and governments through taxes and regulations, whilst still improving its competitiveness in the marketplace. Back to our main question. If we understand this basic relationship of input to output, we can conclude that there are but three ways to improve productivity. Firstly, if we decrease input and hold the amount of output at a constant, such as decreasing wages but producing the same amount of products. Secondly, by increasing output but holding input at a constant, such as maintaining wages but requiring increase in production. And finally, by increasing output whilst simultaneously decreasing the input, requiring more production at a lower wage, for instance. Now, that last point segues into the responsibilities of managers. And first we will discuss the ethical responsibilities. Human labor is considered an input, such as wages and salaries. But is it ethical to reduce salaries in order to increase productivity? Well, the short answer is no. Many countries, including Australia, have workers in place in order to protect employees from unethical work practices. Next, we will discuss the social responsibilities. An entity such as a business has an obligation to act for the benefit of society at large. You shouldn't run a business whilst negatively affecting society. And studies have actually shown that companies which encourage employees to get involved in activities like charitable giving, environmental programs, and ethical business practices can improve their on-the-job performance, which is obviously very beneficial to the business. In conclusion, productivity is an extremely important managerial issue because it provides insight into the efficiency or inefficiency in which business resources are being utilized.